Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about control and coordination in plants. Coordination in animals we have already discussed. In human, coordination done by nervous system, but in plants nervous system is absent. Then how it is possible? In plants, coordination is due to chemical system. There are two types of movements in plants. First one is growth dependent movement or tropic movement, which means movement towards the stimulus or away from the stimulus. The second type of movement is growth independent movement or nastic movement, which means movement independent to stimulus. Nastic movements are also response to stimuli such as contact or touch, light or heat. They do not lead to growth, and these movements are not directional movement. They are reversible movement. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap plant close and catch the prey as soon as the prey lands on them. The leaves of touch-me-not plant close when they are touched. Here the movement not depend on the direction of the stimulus. Flowers such as sunflower, morning glory, tulip, etc. bloom during the day and close in the evening. All animals and plants has receptors in it that responds to various stimuli. But this touch-me-not plant is more sensitive from others. That is why this plant is also called sensitive plant. The scientific name of this plant is Mimosa pudica. There is no growth in this movement. The plant must actually move its leaf in response to touch. There is no nervous tissue and muscle tissue. How does the plant detect the touch? A touch has occurred must be communicated from cell to cell. If you touch, the cell will push other cells at the time the water from a cell will move to other cells, which results in swelling or shrinking. There are 5 common stimuli in the environment: light, gravity, chemicals, water, and touch. Based on this, there are 5 types of tropism: phototropism, geotropism, chemotropism, hydrotropism, and thigmotropism. The movements shown by plants with respect to stimuli of light is called phototropism. Here, the shoot of the plant or stem of the plant is growing towards the sunlight. So we can tell us shoot of the plant is positively phototropism. Here, root is growing in the soil away from the light. So we can tell us root is negatively phototropic. The second type of tropism is geotropism or geotropic movement. The movements of plants with respect to stimuli of gravity are called geotropism. Here in geotropism, it is just opposite to phototropism. Here the root grows towards the gravitational force. Root shows positive geotropic and the shoot grows away from the gravitational force. That means shoot is negatively geotropic. If you place a potted plant horizontally for few days, we will see roots from the pot grow downwards towards the gravitational force. So root is showing positive phototropism. And the shoot, however, have grown upward against the gravitational force. So shoot is showing negatively phototropism. The next type of tropism is Chemotropism. Can you identify which part of the plant is this? These wiry stems are actually tendrils. It is usually seen in weak-stemmed plant like grapes, peas, etc. So these tendrils move in the direction of solid object which is near to them. You know that for the weak-stemmed plant, you will be keeping a support like a stem. You will be giving an additional support. If you didn't give any additional support also, the plant will be getting the additional support by the nearby object. It will grow above the object. So these tendrils are helping a plant to get additional support. You see here, it's a tendril of bean plant. The next type of tropism is hydrotropism. Hydro means water. Here, the plant part is moving towards the water. So, can you guess which part of the plant will grow towards the water? Yes, it will be root. So, here root shows positive hydrotropism and the shoot shows negative hydrotropism. The last tropism is chemotropism. That means a plant part is growing towards the chemical. You have studied about pollination. That means pollen grains are transferring from stamen to stigma. After pollination, the next step will be fertilization. During fertilization, the pollen grains which is present in the stigma of the pistil, which will start growing. The pollen tube will be growing from the pollen grain. The tube will grow. The tube will be growing towards the ovule through the style. Okay, so how can the pollen tube can grow correctly to the ovule? Because style contains some chemicals. So pollen tube is growing towards the chemical and that chemical is leading to the ovule. So pollen tube which contain the nucleus will reach the ovule, then two gametes will fuse and fertilization will happen. This in detail we will study in the next chapter. So now you understand chemotropism. The example is growth of pollen tube in style. Now we can differentiate between tropic and nastic movement. Tropic movement, you keep in mind that phototropism, hydrotropism and all. Nastic movement, you keep in mind the touch me not plant. If you touch, the leaves will droop. Tropic movement, unidirectional. It is unidirectional. Only one part of the plant will grow towards the water. So it is growing towards the water. So it is unidirectional. And shoot of the plant is growing towards the sunlight. So that is unidirectional. So tropic movement, unidirectional response to the stimulus. Nastic movement, non-directional response. Any direction if you touch the leaf of the touch me not plant, the leaf will droop. So there is no directional response. The next is growth dependent movement. You know that height of the plant is growing or root is growing means that is related to the growth. But nastic movement, it is not related to growth. The leaf will droop. Later, after some time, leaf will come in the original position. And tropic movement, more or less, it will be permanent and irreversible. The change will not come back. That means the root has grown means again the root cannot become into small. But in nastic movement, it is a temporary movement, reversible movement. The leaf droop means later the leaf can become into original position. And tropic movement found in all parts. And nastic movement found only in few specialized plants. That means touch me not plant and all. You can see the nastic movement clearly. And tropic movement is slow action. It will take time. Suddenly it will not show the response. But nastic movement is immediate action. Children, we can conclude today's class. We have studied about the movements in plants. There are two types of movements, nastic movement and tropic movement. We have studied about some examples for these movements. So children, you need to prepare your own notes. While writing notes, you include some diagram which will explain the topic. Thank you, children.